Welcome back to the Project Invincible YouTube channel. My name's Nico, and in today's video we're going to be discussing how to have a more upright chest in the back squat and what role your ankles play in executing the back squat. So before we begin, don't let this video be the end-all be-all as far as answers go for your squat progression and execution. You have to remember that the squat is a compound movement, just not as far as musculature, but as far as joint action, joint movement, and all the other intricacies of the actual squat. And you have to note that anatomy has a really large role in the execution of the squat as a whole. So don't let this be the only source of information that will help yield a better squat in general. Remember that squatting isn't just ankles, and that effective squatting doesn't just have one answer. Today we're going to discuss the role of the ankles and what they have to do with an upright squat, and then we're going to go over a couple solutions on to help improve your squatting. First, let me help you understand why the ankles make the chest drop. So real fast, let's get into a quick anatomical lesson. So the backward flexing or the upward flexing of the foot is called dorsiflexion. Think of like a dolphin's dorsal fin. And that's like on top, and like the foot's action of going up, that's dorsiflexion. I use the dorsal fin to help remember, that's what I used in college, but that's dorsiflexion. Dorsiflexion of the foot is what we're going to be discussing. So if your ability to dorsiflex at the foot is limited, that immediately puts a restriction and a limitation on your ability to actually squat deeper. So if you can't properly squat deep or squat deep with fine execution, dorsiflexion might be the limitation that you have. So if you ever heard someone say work on your ankle mobility before, this is what they're talking about. They're really just talking about your ability to dorsiflex. So let's take this example of me with no shoes on. This is my barbell squat. It's not bad, but it's not executed as beautifully as I'd like, but I have just enough ankle mobility to execute the movement. My chest drops just a bit. Now let's take this example of me again, but this time to help illustrate and kind of exaggerate the lack of ankle mobility or the ability to just dorsiflex. I lightly tape my ankle joint and execute the squat. You can see here that because my ankles are limited in their ability to effectively dorsiflex, my chest is forced to drop in the effort to squat deeper and to depth. So less dorsiflexion equates to the chest drop. Okay, so now that you understand the role of the ankles and why they cause the chest to drop, let's start to go over some of the solutions. We're only going to be going over two solutions, so let's exhaust the first solution and also the easiest solution, which is squatting with an elevated heel or using an Olympic weightlifting shoe. So the raised heel allows the lifter to better dorsiflex. So in this example where I have no shoes on, you can see that my trunk is dropping during the execution of the squat. However, as soon as I put on my Olympic weightlifting shoes with a raised heel, my ability to remain more upright is enhanced because the ankle can more easily be dorsiflexed. In many of the cases I personally experience, individuals tend to pick their heels up when they squat down in the natural effort to keep their chest up. By adding elevation to the heel, you effectively solve this issue. So that's the first solution, a little bit long-winded, but you get it. You just put an elevated heel and you can fix it immediately. This is the easiest and the most obvious solution. Remember, without shoes made my chest drop, so less dorsiflexion equals the chest drop. And because of my ankle can dorsiflex better with the shoes, my chest can stay more upright. So more dorsiflexion equals more chest uprightness. Let's say you don't have Olympic weightlifting shoes, or you don't feel the necessity to invest in a pair of Olympic weightlifting shoes, or you actually have them and you still experience some chest drop. We're going to go over the more active solution, which is improving your general mobility at the lower extremity. So this solution is obviously far more open-ended. There's a lot of exercises that you can do to help improve your ankle mobility, but these are just some of the solutions that I have personally prescribed and I have personally used with others, and has helped improve my ankle mobility, and theirs the same. So the first one is actually just a myofascial release of the calf muscles. In many cases, the muscles in the fascia in the calf are restricted, so make the effort to use your foam roller that you probably never use to help release and loosen the musculature of the calf. Just remember that when you're rolling your calves, don't just roll over them really quickly without purpose. You need to take the time to find the tight points of contact in your calf and take the time to slowly apply pressure and roll over them in the effort to loosen those restrictions. And the second one I use is a banded joint mobilization. This is a bit more active as far as effort goes and also requires a resistance band. This is a precision exercise and careful attention to detail is needed to benefit from this mobilization. The band must be placed on top of the foot and not just on the lower part of the leg or the top side of your ankle. I'll have a link in the description of a video by Dr. Horschig providing a guide on how to properly execute this. This exercise does wonders for those who actually have the pinching sensation or a block sensation in the front of their ankle. I think that this is a really good exercise that you may want to consider in the effort to improve your ankle mobility. Last, but certainly not least, the third exercise that I'm going to suggest is a deep goblet squat stretch. This is my personal favorite and also part of my pre-squat warm-up routine. In this exercise, you can take a weight plate and hold it in front of you, squat down into your deepest position and drive your knee over your toes and feel the stretch in both the front and the back of your calf, primarily the back of your calf. Use the assistance of the weight to help provide more driving force in this stretch, and also consider using a barbell. That's also just a fine option as well. This is my personal favorite because its specificity and likeness to the barbell back squat and just being in the bottom position in general, it'll help develop more proprioception of just where your joints and the angularity of the joints are. I really love this one and it really makes me feel more primed to actually squat in general, while also providing a stimulus to help your ankle mobility. So that's it. Those are just 3 of my go-tos as far as enhancement of ankle mobility go. You need to remember that the ankle is just one chain of the entirety of the squat and that this isn't going to be the only limiting factor as far as execution goes. Remember, the ankle may not be the only limiting factor in your execution of the barbell squat. There are a lot of other options that need to be explored after you've exhausted these options. So that's really it. A fairly quick video discussing what dorsiflexion is, ankle action and what it has to do with the back squat, and some solutions to help improve your ankle mobility to have a more upright chest. If you enjoyed the video or learned something new, be sure to leave me a like. If you've experienced anything discussed in this video or want to have a discussion in general with me, be sure to leave a comment. And if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to the Project Invincible YouTube channel. It really motivates me to keep pushing these videos out. So from this video, I really hope that I helped at least a few of you improve your chest positioning in the barbell back squat. Again, my name's Nico. This is the Project Invincible YouTube channel. I'll check in with you guys soon. Thanks again for watching.